It's written from all of the lies that look in your eyes. It's telling your pain, it's pumping through all of your veins. Don't call him in vain. Just speaking his name and power descends like a flame. What's going on, man? The rash, the death, the things we hope not to see. I'm praying for peace for others who hurt, but casting it to the sea. How could this be?
Oh my God, Onour, I heard that you're working on a new show.
Yo, who told you that? You know what? I am. Come on, follow me. What's going on, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Onour from Laughatlifeo, Olafo. And today I am introducing you guys to a brand new show called Keeping It a Buck. You know what keeping it a buck means? It's keeping it a buck. But today is the pilot of the first ever show, and we got something special going on today. We got something special going on tonight, and it's so crazy because it's just, man, to keep it a buck, we just keep it a buck. We talk about everything. But tonight, I got Djroyalove in the building. I got D.A. Smalls in the building. We're going to be talking about some heavy stuff, but the main focus about today's pilot is D.A. Smalls' album called True Flaws. Oh man, I can't wait to get into that, man. Djroyalove, please introduce yourself to the audience. Let them know who you is, what you do, where you from, what set you rep, and you know, you gotta do your little gang, whatever, dance, whatever, do what you ever do.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. It's your boy, Djroyalove, man. You already know what time it is. Kings and queens out there, man, coming all the way from San Antonio, Texas, where, man, we do a lot of community work out here, man, a lot of ministry work. And, of course, I'm the DJ of the DJs of the CHH, man. And I'm just bringing you ministry, man. I bring DJing skills, everything, God first. I mean, that's what I'm all about, man. I mean, that's it, man. That's all I got to say, man. It's God first. That's it. Yep.
D.A., the mic is all yours, brother.
Hey, it's your boy D.A. Smalls. I'm just thankful to be here, honored to be here amongst these two brothers right here. We come a long way, so we just gonna get into this album. You know, we just gonna get into these true flaws.
Let's go. Let's go. So, D.A., please tell us, before we even get into it, the album is called True Flaws. Why pick that as a title? Oh, wait. Hold on. Not to cut you off. Hold on. This show is called Keep It a Buck, right? Right? This show is called Keep It a Buck. So if we're going to keep it a buck, let's start off like this. Let's talk about a funny moment before we get into this album real quick. How we did this a couple weeks ago, was on here for about 3 hours, and it never recorded. I was so upset.
Facts. And you know what the funny thing about it is? I knew it didn't say record. And you know, sometimes, man, look, that's just like with the walk, man. With the walk, sometimes you're just gonna have to go through, you know, hard times until you get it right. You know what I mean? Cause you fix things up. But yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, this is the second time we recording this thing. But we about to do this thing, man. Keeping it in the buck.
Let's go. So D.A. Small, let us know when this album is dropping. Let us know why it's called True Flaws. Let us know where we're going to be able to get it, where we're able to find it. Don't give it all away, because there is a special message at the end of how people could get it. Keep that to the end. But let us know when it's dropping and why it's called True Flaws.
All right, the album is dropping June 19th. That's Juneteenth for everybody, especially people who celebrate freedom. So June 19th, that's when you can get it. It'll be on all streaming platforms, all major platforms, as we say. Even YouTube on my channel. If you go subscribe to DA Smalls _ WMGA, it stands for Watch Me Grow. The title stemmed from, it actually started with transparent. But then I was just like, you know what? I see too many people say transparent, translucent, and all of this. I was like, what can stick out the most, you know? And as I was thinking about the first song, one of the first songs I did on the album, one of the first songs was called True Flaws. So I was like, you know what? I you know, as an artist, people should know that it's kind of really hard when it comes down to titles. You probably get to the title at the end. You know, you do all the music and then you be like, okay, how this sums up. And I end up coming up with True Flaws. I thank God for giving me that, because True Flaws stand for God meeting us where we're at. You know, it doesn't take you to be perfect, or doesn't take you to put on this persona or this image that everything has to be right for God to enter into your life. It's actually to show that, hey, you were qualified because of your flaws that you had, and you still seek Him within those flaws. So
I have a question, bro. So why did you pick the date June 19th? Why'd you pick that date just to drop the album?
Funny story with that one is y'all really need to listen to Djroyalove. I taken the advice and I put it in how I want to. This album was supposed to have been out for a long time, right? And he told me, that it was gonna take some time, and it did. And even if I wanted to push it out earlier, I couldn't, because I had to take a album that had so much great content in it and say, either I push it out without the true backing, without the professional backing, or I push it out with the professional backing. And I took some time, and June 19th was just the day that it ended. I was like, you know what? I have the professional person who's gonna mix and master this. I got everything else done. June 19th got to be the day, because it's freedom, and the album is free.
Okay, that's what's up.
Wow, he said, "Yo, DJ, how many artists do you know that give away free albums?"
Oh man, nowadays it's funny because nowadays everybody's streaming their albums, which you can't. I'm right. You can put a price tag on it. If you stream it through like Spotify, so pre-saves and stuff like that, I see that a lot, but it's not many people, man, tell you the truth, that are, selling their album or streaming their albums for free. And if I'm right, DA, matter of fact, why are you selling it for free? That's my question to you.
Hold on. Hold on. How can you sell something if it's free? You can't sell free.
But you can sell. Okay, yeah, you're right. Why?
It's free. It's free because I really wanted to get away from the business mindset of planting the seed. Not saying that we have to do that. Not everybody has to do that, but I got to a point where I get paid for my shows. Don't get me wrong now. I get paid for my shows.
That was my next question. So if your album is free, like, where are you going to? I know it's not all about the money and chasing the money, but you have to, survive somehow. So how are you going to make money on the back end if you're selling if you putting your album out there for free?
The shows, but at the same time, I told my mom or something the other day that when I was really talking about, I'm really ready to die for what God asks us to die for. I'm really to stand for whatever He tells us to stand for. I told her that, you know what, I'm at the point where if it requires me to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life or plant a seed, I'll do it. I'm not saying that He'll allow that, but I'll do it. If that's what it requires in order for me to help change lives, because the Bible does say that the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. So,
facts.
And
that's what's up, man. I like it. I love it, bro.
So I was able to listen to the album, right? I was able to take a nice little preview of the album, and there's a couple songs that did stick out. There was a couple songs that hit hard. I before this interview tonight, I went back and listened to the album again, and I caught something. It's one of those albums. It's different. It's different from what we're used to DA, right? We're used to a certain style from DA Smalls. This album is completely different. Now, if people don't know your catalog, it's like I'm talking like to air, but you've done freestyles on the Kickin' Radio show. You've done the freestyles, of which I believe you got the videos on, with the J. Cole Dreamville beat. That freestyle, that was, your style is different. In this album, I noticed that you're more personal. You're more I don't want to say, I don't think the word is melodic, like, but the tone is a little bit more intense. What was the purpose behind that? Like, and I asked that because I was listening to the intro, right? To the intro track, the first track. And there was something that you said towards the end that I'm trying to remember word for word, but the gist was what you said towards the end was like your mom being around, but your pop, like your parents not being around, something like that. Explain that a little bit. Why did you make the intro the way that you made the intro?
You about to laugh, but the intro actually was probably written about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And people don't I think people think with music that you know, like there's no way you could go back to what was. Sometimes when you write in music, sometimes it's not there for that particular moment, you know, and it's timing, and that timing that I wrote it was very personal. And so when I got to this album right here and started understanding True Flaws, I was like, wow, this suits. And then I also go back to, like I said, with Djroyalove, when he gave me that advice that you need professionalism. When I went to my producer, I was like, hey, I want to put this right here. So now I had a professional producer who can take the beat and match it word for word that I needed where I wanted it at. So we sat in there and keys and keys and keys, and we did what we needed to do. And then I was like, this is perfect. Now I'm about to add this in. So that.
And so it's funny that you said that. So how long did it take you to find that producer? Like how many producers you went through until you like, you know what, that's my sound, or, you know, I can rock with this, you know?
I want to say 3 producers that I work with.
Oh, wow.
Personally, but, you know, just watching other producers and stuff like that. Like I said, you could be a great producer, but if your character, you know, doesn't, you know, match what's going on, I truly understand that we represent each other. And I don't want you to represent me and you and me represent you. You know, if your character isn't matching, you know, the way that that it's supposed to match. Like, don't get on here. I can't get on here. This is me personally. I can't get on there talking about God, but the whole time I was recording, you was in there smoking weed, smashing girls or something like that. That just ain't, you know, that just ain't me right there, you know.
So with that said, so you don't, okay, well, so obviously you don't just record or get beats from just any producer. Business wise, why to you, why does that really matter if it's just business?
I think a lot of stuff is more than just business always. Like I said, we always reflect each other. I always reflect Djroyalove. I reflect Onour, especially on this show. At the end of the day, people gonna say, you know, hey, you know, Djroyalove, you basically said this man's name is a good name, but then I'm out here tarnishing, you know, what you said just now. So
respect.
You know, it takes time to actually develop. I'm not saying you got to develop a full-blown relationship with somebody, but it does take time to actually understand who a person is, where they're trying to go, stuff like that. So that way it can just flow.
Okay.
So
I respect it.
I like that. So because you said that, right? Now, people that will watch this, whether they're Christians or not, right? Which is going to lead to my next question. Some people will take that, or for the simple fact, some people will sit there and say, well, some artists say, I only work with Christian artists, which is fine, right? Keep it in the kingdom. Some artists will say, well, I don't want to name drop, but I remember watching an interview of this guy, this artist, not going to mention his name, but you know what, whatever. Marcus Rogers. I'm gonna say it. Marcus Rogers. I remember watching one of his shows, his videos, and he said something like, yo, when he goes to the studio, there's people in the studio that be smoking weed, drinking, whatever, and he goes in there and he speaks his message. If you listen to Marcus Rogers' music, yo, it's all God-centered, right? It's all about God. And he says that he used that to an opportunity to kind of minister to everybody else, right, through the music. I bring that up because some people in the cultures, in the culture and in the world, some people would sit there and say, well, you're a Christian, you think that you're better than us, right? And which leads me to a song that you got that's called Christian Apology. And I want you to break that. Like, did you have that in mind of how the world looks at Christians? Like, we think that we're better with others because we want to work with kingdom-minded people, because sometimes it's better that way, so the stuff on the outside doesn't tempt us. Does that fall into the Christian apology?
That's a good message, but if you wanted me to be honest with you, I can't take credit for that. That's something that God gave you just now, because that's not where I was standing at with that one right there. That we should, hanging around Christians, we think we're better and stuff like better. Yes, I did. That was a concept that came up. But that stemmed from, like I said, a guy at work. He was homosexual, and one of the guys there was like, I'm part of this Baptist church, and my pastor said this guy is going to hell, and he kept saying, this guy is going to hell. And I said, why is that? Why are you quick to judge him and condemn him? And he said, because of his homosexuality. And I said, well, let me tell you something. I broke it down to him that I had a point in my life where I was confused in sexuality due to a molestation and due to my father calling me gay, because I wanted to wait to have sex, to wait till marriage to have sex. And so all of that built up, and the neglection of love. And so all of that built up. And I told him that, and I was like, why are you so quick to judge this man right here? In this concept, he's confused at the moment. But that doesn't, my disagreement doesn't neglect my love for him. I can disagree and still drink Kool-Aid and eat chicken with the man. But, just because I disagree don't mean that I should never stop loving him or condemn him or judge him for one. That's not my job. So with Christian apology, that's where that stemmed from right there, because I felt hurt. I really felt hurt that people was like, yo, this man going here right here. And I'm like, dude, well, what if you going there? What makes you better? What if I'm going there? And I just had to look at it from both points of view, aspects. I'm not saying that I want to go to hell, but I'm saying, like, come on now. We don't truly know till Judgment Day. So we just pray for forgiveness constantly, hoping that he'll show us mercy and grace and that we won't have to go there. But I was really hurt that man don't want to talk to him or be around him or anything like that, because us Christians as a whole, we don't correct each other as a whole. We always give free hallelujahs and free amens to each other, but we don't never say, hey, you wrong for doing this right here. Whether it's on the outside or whether it's on the inside, we don't ever pull them to the side and be like, what you did was wrong. We're too scared nowadays. We don't have the boldness that they had back in the day to stand up and say, no, you wrong. You really wrong. God said, with love I have drawn thee. God said a lot of things, in the Bible. But love is the one thing that in that entire Bible, if you never said anything about anything, love is the only thing in that Bible that really reflected. He showed love when David did what he did. He showed love when Delilah, he still showed love and compassion and afforded them opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get right.
And I really, of course, I love what you just said, man, because that's how I got my name, because God is love. And that's one thing that I noticed also, that the number one thing in the Bible, if you want to put it all in one little ball, is love. And I agree with you 110%, man. I think that's just beautiful, bro. And I applaud you on that one, bro, because I think the lack of knowledge that people have when it comes to being a Christian in the Bible, you can tell right away the lack of knowledge to a lot of Christians because they don't live by the word. They know the word all day, every day, but because they don't live it or even try to live it or make an attempt to live it, it's just like a slap. For me, I look at it like a slap in the face, bro. To God. I mean, that's how I look at it. And I think that's what separates some of us, what I mean? That's definitely what separates a lot of us, actually, in my opinion. That's what separates a lot of us, man. I applaud that you said that right now. That was dope. Yeah. That was dope.
That is.
Appreciate that.
So let's talk about some of these tracks that you got on here, right? Obviously, True Flaws, the name of the album. True Flaws, you explained it, is the flaws that we have as humanity, and you got a track with Jekka Soul called Drifting Away. Shout out to Jekka. Jekka's doing her thing.
Shout out to Jekka. Yeah.
It's not the first track you've done with Jekka. Send Me an Angel was the other one. How did this song come about with Jekka?
Again, that song was actually written at the same time of Send Me an Angel. As soon as we finished Send Me an Angel, I was listening to the track, and I was on the phone with Jekka, and I was just like, hey, this track will really go hard. And she sent it to some of her people and was like, I don't know how to deliver on this. This the bonus of everything, but she was like, I don't know how to deliver on this right here. And as humbling as that is as an artist, to go ask people. And she said somebody came back to her. It was crazy now because my boy Zach was like, y'all should do like a Ja Rule, Ashanti type feel on this right here. Then soon as she came back to me, she was like, hey, somebody told me we should do like a Ja Rule, Ashanti type feel. So we was just like, yo, like that's what we came up with that right there. And Drifting Away is really everything that's in there is just talking about drifting away from your old ways, because it doesn't happen fast. Some things do change fast, but not everything changes. It's humbling to know that everything doesn't change fast, that you always have to continuously seek God in order for it to change completely. So
I like that, man. Is there something, and you don't have to share, but is there something that stuck with you over time? Because I think a lot of people is confused also with the walk, and they give up or they, question God a lot of times because things don't happen. Because for me, it was the smoking. I couldn't stop smoking right away. A lot of stuff, for me, I can get rid of, but it was the smoking. It wasn't until this year I stopped. Thank you, Jesus, for that. But is there something that you struggled with for a couple, like 2, 3, or recently got over?
Lust is the big
Lust.
one. I would say the pornography was a big one. I even sat down with my fiance and I said, baby, I would really like you to pray for me. And it got to the point where I even asked her, like, not just on top of the prayer, but, faith without works is dead. I even asked her to, put a parental advisory on my phone, and she keep the password and never showed me to. Now she tried to do it, but what happened was that she watched HBO on my phone, and because if you put a parental advisory on, she can't watch. So she had a hard decision to make. Unfortunately, she didn't get a chance to make that decision, but it's safe to say that for the last 2 days, not even just days, weeks, my mind hasn't even punctured that. It's just been like, wow, like it's really been drifting away. And even if it came to it, like I get down to my knees and, God, I need you for real.
That's dope, man. That's keeping it a buck right there, man.
Yo, if I may, I talk to you guys personally outside of the cameras. We've built a relationship, and both of y'all know if we're gonna keep it a buck, let's keep it a buck. Now that I'll listen to that song again, because once this is done, I'm gonna go back and listen to the album again with a different perspective and a different mindset. Now I'm gonna look at that song with a different set of eyes, because that's one of the things. Like, I smoked, I drank. I haven't smoked a cigarette or anything in about 1.5 years now. I haven't drank a ounce of alcohol since September last year. I had like 2 beers. I don't even, that weed I haven't smoked in like 5 years. It's stuff that I've, but the biggest thing that I've struggled with has been pornography and masturbation, and we could keep it a buck, right? But I could sit here today and all through the grace of God and the heavy conviction and just getting closer to God and spending time with him and realizing something that I'm about to bring up that I know me and DA have spoken about this, and and this is where it's going to lead to the next song. I'm going to let you introduce the song, but just realizing how every time I would fall to the porn industry or the websites or the sexual thoughts from whatever to lead to the act, I started getting convicted. I could sit here before I finish saying what I want to say. I've been a month free, no porn, no masturbation, no nothing, all through the grace of God. You know, and that's the longest that I've ever gone. Well, no, not the longest, but you know what I'm saying?
Look, I ain't gonna tell the people how much I used to yell at you for that.
but you know what helped me? I'll tell you what helped me. What helped me was spending time one-on-one with God and really just letting him just work and getting fed up and saying, you know what, yo, God, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. And what helped me get to that point also was something DA said to me. DA Small said to me one day, we were having a conversation. He said, yo, and the song, I'm gonna let you introduce the song or what the song is about, which song it is. He said, yo, you got to think about it like this. Every time you're gonna go jack off or watch a porn site, think about Jesus being right there, right next to you, because he always is. And he's watching, you know? And when DA said that to me one day, I was like, oh man, you just like ruined every sinful desire in the future for me, because now that's stuck in my head. DA, talk about that, because I know, what was that? I think it's a message from God.
Message from God. I was literally sitting down with that one right there, and I was like, you know, imagine God singing this. And as I was doing that, that's when they wrote. That song was actually written up in probably about 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Wow.
You know, and I was just sitting there like, yo, like, I like to add old school vibes to new school stuff, you know, so that way the older crowd can get it and the younger crowd can understand it. And so Lean On Me obviously is a track that's way in the back, you know, lean on me when you're not strong. So I added that on there right there. And that song right there was like so vivid. All it did was talk about how Jesus is there with you through, and I guess one of the lines that I put on there where it said was, I'm there the day you feeling lustful watching flicks at night. I'm there the day you want to pop them pills to cap your night. I'm there the day you question, is it girls or guys alike? Just know you're gracefully broken, eyes of a sparrow, right? And so that part right there stood out to me the most, because it's like he's there with you. He said he's your friend, and he's there with you through it all. And everybody always put these posts like, oh, you know, walking through the sand, Jesus was carrying you and all of this stuff. Do you really understand the significance of it? When you crying on the bed right there, he was holding you. When you actually was shooting that person or shooting that dope up, he was right there next to you. And you asked him why he didn't stop you, but the stop was the conviction, you know. And so some of us choose to still go on with it. You know, we try to blame the enemy for everything, but we can't give the enemy credit for everything, because we still have will. We still have willpower. We still have choice, you know. And so some of these things we do on our own, but he's sitting right there embracing you like, I'm crying for you. Imagine him crying. Imagine just seeing water, a puddle of water sitting next to you. That's his tears while you doing what you're doing. He don't want to see you do that.
Yo, who was featured on that track?
My little sister, actually.
Oh,
it was my little sister, and then I had a little girl named Christine from the church. She did the beginning because she had like that old school sound for it, like if she was back in the day. And I had her do the little beginning where she started out with the Lean On Me, but the chorus was done by my little sister named Summer Smith.
That's dope. Hey, so do you usually like try to involve your family in your music also?
I try to involve anybody who's really trying to use their gift and don't understand their gift. I really try to bring out the best. Even on Christian Apology, one of the young ladies that was on there, she didn't know. It took weeks, you know, and maybe a month, and, you know, for her to actually say, you know, I'm feeling comfortable. And I explained to her that your gift isn't for you, you know, and if you feel like this is what you're supposed to do, go for it. Who's to tell you no but God? That's the only person who can tell you no, you know. And she got on the song, and I mean, the Christian apology song, if y'all never heard it, it sounds amazing. And now she's like, I want to do this. What she didn't tell me was that her mama pulled me to the side and was like, somebody told her that she was going to meet somebody and she'll be doing this music, you know, full time.
Wow.
That's, man, you planted that seed, man. That's awesome.
So it's safe to say, with what you just said, yo, I'm gonna give myself some credit right now. My transitions is on point tonight. So it's safe to say that you because you said you incorporate people that want to use their gift, right?
Yeah.
And you said and you also mentioned that you said to her that her gift is not hers, right? And we've had these conversations before, and Djroyalove and I have had these conversations before, that our gifts are not ours. It's like that parable of Jesus was saying about the owner with the talents, right? He gave the three guys, you know, the different, you know, five. Paraphrasing here, I'm going to honorize it. Five quarters each. One person multiplied it, the other person multiplied it, and one person just saved it. And it was like, yo, what are you doing with that gift? That's not yours. You know, you should have just put it in the bank, and I would have collect interest. So, could you say that, with that in mind, would that be part of being pick of the litter? See what I did there? See what I did there? Pick up the litter, gift not ours.
I see what you did. I see what you did. Yes, I gotta say, pick of the litter. Pick of the litter is a whole different ball game, though. Pick of the litter is, you gotta understand yourself before you're even there. You gotta see yourself at that position that God put you at before you're there. That's what pick of the litter really is really about. Like, I was down, but even in my down stage, you know, like, y'all wasn't calling, y'all wasn't saying none of this, but I saw myself to where y'all was gonna be, hey, boom, 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 DA small. I saw myself saying, hey, I'm traveling the world now. I got to do, you know, motivational speaking. I even did a motivational video at the Coliseum. And when it happened now, don't say nothing, because that's a year and some change. That's 3 years ago where I put that down there. Where I said I'm gonna be speaking amongst, you know, tens and thousands and 30,000 people. You know, I'm gonna be amongst those people. But you got to see yourself there. That's what pick of the litter was about, being the top notch. You know, being picked out of the entire crowd. But you got to see yourself there first before you even get picked out of it. You know. That video is dope, by the way. Appreciate you. We shot that in one area, bro. Again, go back to Djroyalove. Y'all really gotta take their advice. I'm not telling you that you have to do everything that somebody says, but when you take their advice and you really incorporate it and you pray on it and you actually maneuver with it, like, you'll see the difference. I'm not gonna tell you that I did everything that Djroyalove said do. I'm gonna tell you that what he gave me with the information, I prayed on it, and I said, you know what? This is a person who knows the business, and because he knows the business and he knows other things, it is safe to say that I should follow this right here. What's the worst that could happen? Now I got to start all over again. Okay, yeah. I mean, I ain't made it. I wasn't already there, so yeah. I mean, what you want me to say?
Yeah, man.
And so it just improved. It just improved and improved and improved and improved.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, bro. And it's awesome to me, man, because I know where you was at when I came to South Carolina. That people don't know, yes, when I left California with Kicking Radio and stuff like that, I came to South Carolina with Brother Smalls here, man. And it's just from then, which was what, 2 years ago, maybe? 3 years ago?
Yeah,
until now, and it's just like, this brother's been so obedient, and I appreciate. I can't take the credit, of course, you know, but I just seen so much growth in him, and he's an artist. Out of all the artists that I've dealt with, he's an artist that actually, like he just said, man, he actually listened to, you know, what I had to say. And he didn't have to, like I said, he didn't have to, and I tell everybody this, you ain't got to listen to everything I say, but I know a little bit about a little bit, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, is your business, is your career, is your path. But I'm not here. And I think that's where men, the reason why he did that, because I see, and this is why I love DA so much, this is why I respect DA so much, because as a man, and not only that, as a follower of Christ, we can talk with each other and respect what we say to each other. And then it's rather, oh, he's right or wrong, but you still got to go back and do your homework too. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I see what DJ was talking about, or I see what DA was talking about. And I love that about DA Smalls, man, because at the end of the day, even if I was right or wrong, he's not afraid to say, hey, bro, man, thank you. Or, hey, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people got so much pride. You know what I mean? Only me and DA know, what went on during those times. But at the end of the day, we still here, we still smiling, we still laugh, because it's not about us at the end of the day, and that's what I love about this guy, not only as my brother of Christ, but as an artist. And I just want to say I appreciate, I know I could be long-winded, but I can't stress how much I just wish, no, I don't wish, how much, artists need to look at where you came from and how you are now. I'm not saying, because at the end of the day, I don't know where you want to be. That's between you and God. I don't know what God has for you, brother, at the end of the day. And like I said, I just wish the best, bro. I've seen the growth. Just like with me, I seen my own growth. I would never thought I would be where I'm at today, and like, wow. I look at you and I'm like, wow. And it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. It's dope, bro. It's dope.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm laughing.
What's up?
And I'm gonna bring it up. We haven't spoken all day, right, DJ? You hit me up earlier just to check up how I was doing in the text. That was it. DA, we had a conversation about this earlier today. Remember, DA? And it's exactly what I said. I said, this is what I told DA. I said, I am so happy, right? I am so happy that whatever happened in South Carolina between you guys was for the best, right?
Oh yeah.
Whatever happened, because like I told DA, I was like, because I see what Djroyalove does, and you spent time with God. You moved to Houston, San Antonio. I mean, you moved to San Antonio. You did your thing, and now you're out there in the streets trying to bring together the community and cops with this whole thing that's going on, right? Hold on, before you say anything, right? And the growth that you have done, it's just amazing. You're an inspiration to people. People don't know what you really do or what you are doing. I know, because we talk from time to time, and we check up on each other, right? The same thing I told DA Smalls, that I'm glad that whatever happened in South Carolina, only you guys know, because he has done so much more than just music. Because when I met DA Small through Kickin' Radio two years ago, DA Small was only an artist. DA Small now, and I'm not going to say everything that I know what DA Small is doing, but DA Small is doing things that it's just like, okay, if that situation didn't happen, would both of y'all gentlemen be where you guys are at, doing what you guys are doing, making the impact, making, changing the narrative of where you guys are at, and following what God has truly put into your hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I applaud both of y'all for that.
It's dope. And real quick, and I'm not going to be long with this one. It's dope that you just said that, because it just, popped in my head, is just that it doesn't matter what this industry or business is doing. DA is in his own lane.
Oh, for sure.
Djroyalove, he does his own thing, own lane. Laughatlifeonur, he does his own, and that's what I love about you guys. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. We don't have to explain ourselves to nobody. We know what we doing. You know what I mean? If I don't call DA for 2 months, he don't take that to heart. He don't, oh, you a Christian, bro. I thought we was brothers. Or Onour, oh, like, no, DA knows me. He knows, I tell everybody that it's bigger than just DJing. If I don't DJ in front of online ever again, I don't care. I'm happy because for me, I know my peace and happiness comes from ministry, bro. You know what I mean? I just love helping, you know, even if I'm here for, like DA, I was there for what, 2 months, maybe 2-3 months. Even I'm there 2-3 months and I did what I did and I go, I think I know what God is doing with me and I'm starting to see it, but I just need to, for me, I just need to put in the package and it's going to happen. And with DA, I see it too. And I feel like you're going to be part of that package also. You know what I mean? Even though we're going our separate paths, I know we're going to come together and it's just going to be so awesome, bro. I see it. I feel it happening. And yeah, man, I just love you guys and appreciate that. And that's all I got to say.
Right when you left, you know,
but man, I know it's all mushy, but man,
no.
He gonna cry.
I know.
He gonna cry.
I be so busy, man. I can't talk with these guys so often like I used to. But it's just all I can't wait for this album to come out. I can't wait for the people to hear it. I can't wait for DA to go on tour. Awesome, bro. It's just, matter of fact, how many tracks you got on the album?
12 tracks. It was only supposed to be 11 at first.
12?
No, it was actually only supposed to be 11 at first. Because 11 is just my number. I love it. But it's crazy because the 11th track was actually supposed to be on the mixtape that's coming out that I'm working on. But
there's a mixtape?
It's a mixtape coming out. It's called Nobody Safe.
So is it going to drops or
is it what? The mixtape gonna come out after the album drop.
Okay.
You know,
you heard what he said?
The mixtape is like I said, it's called Nobody Safe, and it's it's gritty and grimy. We actually gonna have some features on there. We're gonna have some people like KLS. We're gonna have some. Oh yeah, man. You know, like
KLS. Shout out.
We're gonna open this up, man. We're gonna get grit and grimy with it. You know, nobody's safe, not even myself. You know, in this right here. So
yeah, man.
So what's the point of the mixtape? Kind of divert off the album. Why nobody's safe? Like what capping? You want smoke? Like what's good?
Oh man, I don't want any smoke. They can send whatever they want my way, you know, but you know, the only person I'm competing with is myself. So, but nobody's safe means and at first it was between no safe words and nobody's safe. So, but nobody's safe just means like, you know, not even the person that's at the highest of the high that we assume, even the pastor, doesn't have any type of flaws or anything like that. But we just got to realize that even with those flaws, these people seek God, and we got to stop putting our whole into a man and understand that we got to put our whole into God. So when nobody's safe, all it means is, you know, like.
So what you saying? Even pastors can go to hell.
Even pastors can go to
hell. Okay.
You know, and so people. That's what Christian apology was about too. At the end, you know, it wasn't really just apologizing on Christian, but at the same time, at the end, it spoke about the flip side of it. The flip side of this is that, you know, even Jesus knew, you know, he was going to go through everything that he was going through. He knew he was going to be spit on and abused, but he trusted the Father. He really wouldn't be moved. The issue with us is that we look at these people at their negatives, and then we say, oh, there's no way that they could be a follower of Christ. not understanding that my negatives don't neglect, me following Christ doesn't negate my negatives that I have in my life. It's because of my negatives that I follow Christ, so that way he can get me right. Regardless of the position that I'm in, if I just so happen to be put into a pastoral position, so be it. But, I still got my flaws that I deal with. And even God knew this, so he sent provision, which was Jesus. That's why we really have to dissect the word and really look at it like, okay, he's not telling us, he gives us guidelines. He said, hey, don't do these things right here. But if you just so happen to do these things right here, I need you to fall to your knees and call on my name so I can forgive you for what you've done.
So as a art, I'm sorry, but because this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. I love to hear it, and I got so many questions. So as an artist, when you become more when you have more popular, especially like during social media and stuff like that, and people start envying DA Smalls, I mean, what's the message that you're going to give the people once they start doing that? Because, that's what they do. So how are you as an artist, as a follower of Christ first, how are you going to attack that? Like, what does that look like?
You divert. You immediately you give that credit, and when you give that credit, you mean that credit. It ain't no, hey, I'm on the stage, so I say all glory to God. I still be who I am. I'd use J. Cole as a perfect example. The man went to the barbershop and they tried to let him skip the line. He was like, nah, you've been here before me. This a multi-platinum artist, that could have just skipped the line, but he sat down. When he in New York, he riding on his bike because he can get around on his bike as opposed to being in a car. He still treats, when you still act the same, regardless of the position, you don't get people who envy you now. Now they start being like, okay, what's holding you? What's keeping you like this right here? Hey, I can't take credit for this.
So that's like staying humble also.
It's staying humble.
You took the words right. You took the words right out of my mouth. So let me ask you this to kind of stay on the whole no one's safe. I'm gonna say it. We know that there are some artists in the Christian community that have gotten their shine and kind of forgotten about people. Like, do you tackle situations like that? Have you experienced something like that where somebody was at the same level and then all of a sudden an artist explodes and it's like you're left in a back burner?
They never forgot about you. It's that wasn't their interest in the beginning. They use that to up themselves, to ante up. If I know what the person that I'm competing with got, like I can always, ante up. And once I ante up, I'm good to move on, and not just competing, but now if I build a false sense of a humbleness, or build a false sense of I care about you, you'll always be endeared to me. You'll always be like, dang, that guy DA Smalls, all they doing is using, they're using that person's promotion to get to where they want. They never was thinking about you, concerned about your true meaning. Call one of them and tell them actually how you feeling today and find out what happened.
Onour, can I say something?
Of course.
So this is keeping it a buck. I like we have these type of I ain't gonna say debates, but I like when you ask questions like that, because I think of myself, because I'm not as active on social media or stuff like that as I used to be. And I know sometimes some people might say, oh, Djroyalove think he big time, but at the same time, I don't think that's what it is. It's because when you say that, do you really know what these artists are doing behind or off camera? So no. And I think a lot of people, we can't necessarily jump to say, oh, like someone like Bizzle, he's too good to, write me back or something, because I try to walk in his shoes, or like I think about what I do, and it's just like, I just can't answer to everybody no more, like how I used to, because I'm so busy.
No, of course, no. I get.
But
cool.
that's a different ball game though. So that's a different ball game, like you said. Like the more you start getting up in a position, there's a lot more responsibility, and people should understand that with that responsibility comes the, hey, this person can't always get to me because I'm not the only one that's hitting this person up. But we selfishly think like that. So like I understand, you know, Bizzle or any of them, like, you know, even Djroyalove, you know, even Onour, you know, he got it. We don't look at, hey, they got a whole, both of y'all got a whole family, you know, that you attend to. That's already hours out of your day. You DJ, so now you building up your business, so that's a couple of more hours out of your day. You know, now you make sure you got to put food on your table, so you at work at the same time. That's a couple of hours out of your day. When do you really have that much time to actually sit down and adhere to somebody, you know, just wanting to say hey, or, you know, whatever the case may be? You know, some people, and I think the best person that I ever heard say this was Eric Thomas, and he was talking about, even like you said, the 2 months away, I don't take it to heart. He was talking about praying about somebody's refreshment. Like, why I gotta be like, dang, dog, you can't even talk to me no more with it. No, this man is being refreshed. He's trying to get where he need to get to. I should be happy that this man is getting up there where he need to get to, you know. I shouldn't be like, dang, dog, you can't talk to me no more. You a grown man that has responsibilities, that has obligations. How I know that God didn't even tell you to just say, hey, you know what, for the next 5 months, I don't want you to talk to nobody. I want you to talk. We don't know that.
And you know what? It's funny you say that. I'm glad you brought that example up, because of the simple fact that that's what happened to me, right? I went on the sabbatical. I've been off of social. I went months without talking to anybody, and I'm slowly just starting to continue to talk to certain people, right? And when I went on the sabbatical, I just came off a sabbatical, right? And I had enough work lined up for at least 3 months worth of content for the brand. But God said, walk away. And when I send out a text, and I believe everybody got a text. DA, you got a text. Djroyalove, you knew firsthand. I sent out a text to the people that really I stay close by to, that, you know, rock whatever. I think I even went on social. When I said, yo, I'm going on a sabbatical, I had people, right? I'm not going to say no name. I had people sit there and literally tell me, yo, dog, you're bugging. How do you expect to grow your ministry if you keep going on a sabbatical? I had people tell me, and these are brothers.
Wait. So they're referring to like online, just online?
I guess, like the shows and everything, right? I had people that sat there and said, yo, you sure that that's the Holy Spirit telling you, and that's God telling you to take a break, because it seems like you're continuously doing that. And what people don't, and I'm glad that DJ, what you said and what DA just said was, we have to pray for the refreshing of that person, that replenishing, because we don't know where God is taking them. And I'll be honest, me being on the sabbatical, I've learned so much and still yet learn so little, that this is why I'm not fully back on social, right? And DA knows this is what's going on right here. This is a special occasion, right? We prayed about it because DA was like, yo, I need you to pray. When DA said, listen, Your Honor, I got an idea. The first thing he said, I got an idea, but I need you to promise me you're going to pray about it first, because I know you're on a sabbatical, right? There was people when I went on a sabbatical that said, yo, I'm going to keep you in prayer. Go do what you got to do with God, dog. Go let God lead you. And the one thing that I've learned in this time being away is how to be humble. I learned the meaning of true love. I relearned the meaning of forgiveness. I'm in the spiritual warfare every single day against my flesh. There's stuff going on at home with family that if I wasn't on a sabbatical, I wouldn't be able to handle what's going on, right? So I say all that to piggyback what DA said. You know, I think as a body of believers, we have to understand that sometimes what fans want from the influencers, whether you're an artist, a DJ, a host, whatever, it's not always what God wants. And I think in this industry, sometimes the influencers get caught up because of the fear of losing that following, of the fear of if you're making a couple dollars because of what you're doing, you're afraid to let that go. And I'll say it like this: when me and DJ had this conversation, he asked me, "Are you willing to give it all away for God? Are you willing to walk away from it all?" And I said, "Yeah." And he asked it to me 3 times, and by the 3rd time, I understood what he meant. And I said, "You know what? Yeah." And I'll walk away from it. I'll walk away. This could be the last video that you guys may see, Onour. If God says, "All right, Onour, you did your due, you're done." Okay. I got no problem with that, right? And I'll say that because there's a track on, and I'll bring it back to the album. There's a track on this album that I love. When I say I love, when I heard it, I did a video reaction to it. DA Small has that raw reaction, and the song is called War. And even though what I'm about to say next doesn't really coincide with the song itself, but we're constantly at war with our flesh. We are constantly at war with our mind. We are constantly at war with the comments, the views, the fans, because people don't truly understand. It's like this. I tried to explain to somebody about the Holy Spirit, right?
Bro,
I tried to explain to somebody about the Holy Spirit and the direction that God is taking me. And this person said, "Yo, I don't think the Holy Spirit talks like that." And I said, my response to that was like, "Yo, how do you know? Have you ever experienced?" Not to throw shade, not to belittle the person, just, how do you know? Have you had that personal connection, that one-on-one, to know how the Holy Spirit speaks, right? So we're constantly at war, not only with ourselves, but with everybody else. And the enemy will try to throw whatever he can to deter you from whatever it is. And I go back to the song War because I think that song is so powerful in so many ways. And one of the lines that I was, when I heard it, I had to bring it back. I was like, "Woo, no, he did not." DA said, what he said? He said, "Yo, something, I can't remember the word for it, but don't call me a nigger," or something like that, right? And that line, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Did he really just say all that?" Because that's so powerful. DA, if DJ has nothing to say on what I just said, DA, please explain.
Wait, is that line? "Don't call me a nigga. I'd rather call them kings or queens," or something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
No.
No,
the kings and queens is in a little bit further, a couple bars later, but it's on that first verse. Look at him.
My stuff mixed up. I think I'm getting my stuff mixed up. Man, DA be throwing them gems, bro.
Look at him.
He be throwing them gems.
And that's why I said we're gonna choose. I'm gonna let y'all choose. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna let the people choose. We're gonna let the people choose between the mixtape, whether it's called Nobody's Safe or No Safe Words. All right. The reason why I said that was because I feel like as Christian artists, we're too safe about what we say. I'm not saying that we gotta cuss or anything like that, but the boldness of the word, nigga, is very bold and it's very profound, and it's a negative connotation. And so we always say, and I quote this, we always say, we'll tell the white man or the Hispanic man, be like, "Hey man, don't call me no N-word or nothing like that." But when it come down to ourselves, we say the same thing to each other, and we don't stop each other. "Hey man, don't call me that." I tell people that all the time. "Hey, I'm not an N-word, Hey, I always use this line right here. I'm a young, sophisticated African American. That's what I say right there. And they be like, "What?" I'd be like, yeah, you know. And the reason why is because if we want to create change, we got to create change amongst ourselves. But the line said, it said, "Don't call me a nigga because Luther had died for a dream." And after that, it said, Coretta, come clean and tell your people that freedom, it comes with a price. That's basically like saying like, my price may be me never having to talk to y'all again. Not saying that would happen, but my price may be me having to separate myself, because mentally we have to be, established up here. That's what even Martin Luther King, he knew that fighting this battle right here. This wasn't a racist song. It wasn't even meant to be in that term. That's how they looked at it when they heard it. It was supposed to be, like everything in that song was supposed to be just catching you and letting you know that God is a bad God. Like when I say bad, not like he's a bad guy, but hey, this a bad man, gentleman. He could be anywhere he want to be. He can do anything he want to do. Why get on this man bad side? But with the whole don't call me a nigga, thing, like if we wanted to create change, in the world, we got to create change amongst ourselves. If we want people to stop killing us, we got to stop killing ourselves first. If we want to have these good jobs, the good that we're supposed to understand that mentally, we got to stop giving somebody power over us. And that's not even a race. That's just a man, period. We got to stop telling our kids that, the black man is always going to be below, or the white man is always going to be above, or the Hispanics is taking all the job. We got to start letting them know that it was mental. Martin Luther King knew that. He knew that the fight wasn't physical. It was always mental. That's why they didn't care about getting locked up. That's why they didn't care about getting beat up. Is when they figured out that these people couldn't control this right here, and they still was going to continue to march and march and march, is when they figured out that they was free. That's when the freedom was really established. So you're really free when you give God this right here, when you allow this not to be tampered with. And the African proverb that I heard was that when there's no enemy, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm.
Well, I like that you said that, and you kept pointing to the mind, right? Because not that long ago, DJ, I think you saw this too. Not that long ago, you went on IG, DA, on a rant. You went on a rant. You said, right, your rant was, yo, how can we say that, what was it? The rant basically was saying, yo, like, y'all keep talking about y'all on the block doing this, and but your mindset is, if Christ died for us, we're free in our mind, but the fact that you keep talking about being suppressed, you're still a prisoner.
I like DA do that.
That was because there's some artists that I'm actually going to contact. I got some personal contacts for them. There's some artists that I'm going to contact, and let them know, like, we got to stop confusing our young kids and even our old kids thinking that we can live a double life with Christ. They're trying to be cool with the world and still say, I serve God, and I even heard it today on another song where they were saying, I'm a Christian, but I'm still in the streets, and we all know it's still in the streets. It's not like goddamn, like, like whatever the case may be. Like we're giving we're giving the world a negative connotation of Christian, even Christian hip hop music. That's why I don't call myself a Christian hip hop artist. I just say, hey, I'm a Christian lyricist. Y'all take it how y'all want to take it, only because I don't want to be in that label, man. We just starting to do any and everything now. We confusing our kids. They thinking they can go still be on the streets and serve God. They thinking they can, still cuss and all of this other stuff and serve God. They thinking a lot based off of what we put in our music. We want to fit in with the world now. We want to fit in with each other. We don't want to stand out. And like Djroyalove said, we in our own lanes. That's one thing I always prayed, is that going against the grain. I'm not going against the grain intentionally. This is what they're forcing me to do at hand. They're forcing me to go against the grain. They're forcing me to, this, that, and the third.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I have a lot to say, but it ain't time to say it. But that's awesome, bro. Because that goes deep what he's saying right now, man.
Of course
like,
it does.
Everything that he's saying right now is so true, man. And you don't hear that from a lot of people, man. And it's just like we stand out because we are different. You know what I mean? Not saying it's bad at all. Who said different is bad? You know, and it's just like, man, it's just so amazing.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Paul, right? And going back to what DA said about, you know, when he spoke about Christian apology, you know, pulling a brother to the side, like, yo, my man, like, you were wrong the way you did this. You know, you could have handled this better. You know, when he said that, I wanted to say it earlier, but it reminds me of Paul when Paul tells, I believe it's the Church of Galatians, if I'm correct, right? Paul tells a story of he had to pull Peter to the side and be like, yo, like, you're wrong. Like, you were just eating with the Gentiles. The minute the Jews came in, you said, yo, forget the Gentiles. And you started going with the Jews and their custom and everything. Yo, like, what's up? Like, you know, you can't do that. Right. And he pulled and he fat checked Peter, but he did it out of love because he never bashed Peter. They decided to go their separate ways, but still preach Christ. But he had to let Peter know, like, yo, my man, like, what you're doing, right? What you just did right now, yo, that's not what God intended us to do. You know, God, you know, God is the king of the Jews and the Gentiles. He came to save the Jews and the Gentiles. He came to save, you know, the porn addicting, drug addict, street selling, drug street sweeper guy, the homosexual, the abuse, the sexually abused person, you know, the confused person, the Muslim, the Buddhist, the atheist. God came in and Jesus came and died for all of us.
I put that in a song, and they actually and I had a live that I went on the other day, and I did that song actually, and you know, they was like, man, it's funny that you bring up you know, rapists, and they was just like, you know, a rapist is still a rapist in my eyes. And I said, you're right. A rapist, you know, committed the act, and that's what they'll be considered all their life by people. But it's still not to say that whatever I've done in my life is more or less than what they did, and God still shows them mercy, you know. And I learned that through a movie called The Shack, where one of the guys had killed, somebody killed his man's daughter, and this guy wanted revenge, and he got a chance to speak to God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And he said, I want you to hurt him. And the reply that God gave back left me in tears. He said, I can't do that, basically. He said, because I know what he did is wrong, but I still want to redeem him.
Because no sin is greater than other sin, correct?
No sin is greater than the other sin. It don't matter how we view it. We view it. That's why God is God, because he views it how he says it, you know. And you know, people just can't understand it. And by explaining that to these people on the live, they actually started to understand. I mean, like, these are homosexual, you know, I mean, they doing all, it's not just homosexual, but, you know, these are gangbangs, all types of stuff. I'm on these lives with these people, and I don't get on there to talk. I get on there just to spit my music, because they got talent shows, you know, in the midnight hour. So I'm out here spitting my music, and they just like, man, you know, how can you, and they always ask this question, how can you be on here with us like this, you know, and not judge us, and not, because it's never my intent to judge. It was not even in my hands. Every time I think I want to say something wrong to judge anybody, God always reminds me, and I reflect back where I came from and what I used to be. So I get on there and show love, and then they be like, man, you know, like, this is what Christianity should be right here. You know, it's not a religion, it's a way of life. And because we've made it a religion and forced it a religion, now it's become a religious state, you know. So people don't want to claim themselves as a Christian anymore. But if you're a follower of Christ, I mean, if you say, I follow Christ, I mean, you're a Christian. I mean, regardless if you want to say it or not, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to wrap this up because the time is going to run out soon.
Okay.
So one last question from me, and then I'll let DJ ask his final thoughts, and then DA, you can close it out with your final thoughts. But my question for you, DA, what is your favorite track out of this whole project? What is the one track that really just speaks to you, that you really pray that it will minister to somebody?
Jeez. Man, I got a few of them on there, but I gotta really say True Flaws is probably about the best track I like on there. And because I displayed, that took a lot of out of me to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna display my flaws on the album and tell you it's me that was in this state right here, and still be normal, you know, and act like ain't nothing happened. I think that's my favorite track on it.
And that's good, man. Man, God is good, man. And I know God is with you, bro. I don't have a question, but I do have some words for the people that's gonna watch this, and you know, maybe for you guys too, man. I mean, don't let the business cover up, you know, your mission or what you're supposed to do for Christ. At the end of the day, man, and this is just how I work, man. God first with everything you do, and the business is bigger than social media. So if the people that think the followers is gonna make them famous, that right there, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong, because it shouldn't be about the followers. It should be about the work that you do for Christ. So therefore, it wasn't until I start actually doing stuff for purpose reasons, like with purpose, you know what I mean? Out here, because you can reach the fans outside your door quicker than people is going to react on social media. Just know how you running your business. If you use social media as a tool, I suggest everybody just use it as a tool, you know, as marketing for what you're doing on the outside, the ministry work, the tours, the concerts, and just show it that way, man. And I think as long as you keeping God first, bro, I'm gonna be your #1 supporter right there by your side. DA, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for this album, June the 19th. Of course, I'm gonna be spinning it, bro. And that's all I got to say.
Appreciate you. Well, is this where I plug in?
Yeah.
Hey, it's your boy DA Smalls, and I'm just grateful and thankful to have this opportunity with the Laugh at Life Honor Show, the Keeping It a Buck, and Djroyalove. You really got to check these two out. I'm not saying that because we've been together for so long. I'm saying that because I've actually watched the growth. Listen to Djroyalove. He has the advice. He can be an advice consultant, and you can actually take that information from him. And you do with it what you will, but understand that I've taken. It's always been a step up. It's never been a step down, you know, with the advice that he's given me. Don't let the followers be your persona. You know, I got a bunch of followers, and you know, so I must be big time. Don't let that get a hold of you. You know, use it, like he said, as a platform of ministry. Show off what you got through there, just like that, and get on throughout your day and touch the people that's out here. So I thank y'all. The album will be out June 19th. That's the freedom, what we call it, the Freedom Day, what we call it. But and it's free, so you can check it out. You can subscribe to my YouTube and find it at DA Smalls WMGA, or you can go to my page. I am DA Smalls. I have a link tree put in there soon. You can go to DA Smalls on Facebook, and you can just look at D.A Smalls on any streaming platform and find all the music out there.
Yeah, it's your boy Djroyalove, man. You can find me at Djroyalove on Instagram, and on Twitter is Djroyalove1. You can email me if y'all want bookings or business inquiries at djroyalovemusic@gmail.com. I'm rocking with your boy Onour on Keeping It a Buck, man.
Yeah, well, I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna boast a little bit right now. I'm gonna flex a little bit. I already heard the album, so you guys are a little behind. Whoever's watching this, y'all gotta go cop it. Y'all gotta go. How about this?
I tell you what, this guy below me, he gonna give y'all a sneak peek of it. He got about 3 songs or whatever. He gonna give you.
I'm on
you. Nah, you at the bottom of our screen. Yeah, you.
Nah, man, I got y'all, man. I've been working on something, man, and so I'm coming out with something soon. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Don't worry. Man, I'm working. Trust me, I'm working.
Well, listen to this, man. I'm gonna make a bold declaration right now. All right, y'all hearing it? Everybody that's watching, y'all gonna hold my word. And the only way y'all gonna hold my word is when DA shows it, right? But on June 19th, when the album is released, even though it's free, Onour's gonna send DA a $20 cash app for the album.
That's what's up.
I'll accept.
Man, the way my bank account work right now, man.
You got a savings and a checking?
Hey, brother moving, bruh. So I don't know. Maybe $1, bruh. Nah, I'm just playing. I got it. I'll show support also.
Of course. Well, thank y'all. Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Onour. Y'all can find me on IG at laughatlifeonur. YouTube, laughatlifeonur. Something new is coming though. Welcome to the first ever Keep It a Buck. I'm so thankful for DA Small, Djroyalove, man. I love y'all. Yo.
Oh, man, that was so much fun, man. I had such a blast tonight, man. Shout out to DA Smalls and Djroyalove for chilling with your boy tonight, man. Kicking it a buck, the first episode of season 1. Man, there's so much more coming, more interviews, more artists, more testimonies, man. This is going to be great. But you guys got to subscribe, man, so y'all can stay tuned into all of it. And check this out. Make sure you guys go check out D.A. Small's album, True Flaws, dropping June 19th. Y'all don't want to miss this album. It's a phenomenal album. Man, I'm so excited. Yo, I gotta go, man. They're catching on to the show. I gotta go. Oh, man, they're here.
It's just different.
It's your boy Onour. Laughatlifeo. I had to go ahead and switch it up on y'all right quick. Gotta do my minna. Gotta do the minna. Yeah. Gotta do my minna. Let's go. Feel me? Yeah. I put my headphones in to get my groove on. Put my hands in the air, start moving them. Moving side to side.